you happy now? Are you happy now?
Can we ride in this moment? Can we ride? Nothing's stopping us tonight. No. Not a single bright light in our sight, in our way, in our way. I'll be your passenger. You lead the way. You lead the way. I'll let you take the wheel. I'm feeling something real. I need to feel that breeze rush your feeling. Not a single taillight and outside. Do you feel it? All I see are green lights ahead, lighting our way. Lighting up our way, yeah. Lighting up our way. Lighting up our way. They light it up, they light it up. Can we drive right into this feeling? Can we drive? 'Cause there's a way I'm stepping tonight. No. Not a single red light in our sight, in our way, in our way. Yeah. I'll be our passenger. You lead the way. I'll let you take the wheel. I'm feeling something real. I need to feel that breeze rush over me. You lead the way. Not a single taillight and outside, in our way. All I see are green lights ahead, lighting our way. Lighting up, yeah. Lighting away. All the green lights. Lighting up now. All the green lights. Lighting up our way. All the green lights. Lighting up now. I'll be your passenger. You lead the way.
I could always be the one you wanna call when it's cold outside. I will always be the one that's right here, standing by your side. Open up your heart and let me in. I promise not to break you. I promise